All right, we have Philadelphia Phillies manager and former Kansas baseball catcher Rob Thomson. We'll go ahead and open it up for questions.
Can you remember a first time where you thought managing could be a career path for you?
You know, it's funny because I always thought about making sure I'm doing my own job and not thinking too much about the future and my next job. But it was always in the back of my mind. And in 17, our manager, Joe Girardi, got fired by the Yankees. And so I interviewed for that job, and I didn't get it. And since that point, I really didn't think about it. I just thought, well, you know, just be the best bench coach you can be. It's probably not going to happen. You can retire and have a great career, and, you know, and then, you know, situation happened this year, and it happened. So it was kind of interesting that, you know, you're not really thinking about it, and then it happened. So,
From a positional standpoint, though, catcher's always kind of managing the game, aren't you, in your head?
yeah, you know, I think catchers have an advantage because you're seeing the entire field. You're dealing with a pitching staff all the time. You're dealing with a lot of strategy. You have to give signs, receive signs from the bench. There's a lot of things going on. So I think definitely catchers have an advantage. You know, there's a lot of great managers out there that weren't catchers, but I think catchers overall have an advantage.
Marty Patton, head coach here, longtime major leaguer, great guy. What kind of an influence did he have on you?
Huge. He got me here, and this is where sort of I grew up. You know, I'm from Canada. It's the first time I'd ever been away from home, halfway across the continent, and I had to sort of grow up, and Marty helped me so much. Just a wonderful, wonderful human being. And I just truly loved the 3 years that I spent here.
Have you talked a lot with Dan since he got hired here?
I have. And I think Dan Fitzgerald is going to do a great job. I really do. I think this program is in a great spot. I think he understands the game. He's energetic. He loves players, and if you're a coach or a manager or run a program, you have to love players. And I think he's got a lot of great qualities. And I think this, as I said last night at the banquet, I don't think it's too far from a national championship, this program. It's not too far away.
Skip, what was your transition like when you took over, when you finally got the chance in Philly? Did you, being that you really prepared for it one way or another for many, many years, whether consciously or not, did you fall back on your own plan for what you might do when you took over manager, or did you wait and see what was in the clubhouse, what you needed to do to work with the players and make that situation work?
Yeah, the transition was a little bit difficult for me because I had worked with Joe Girardi for a long time, and he was a wonderful man and a great friend of mine. And so when that happened, that was a little bit difficult. But we didn't do anything major. I think we just made some minor adjustments along the way, and as I've said many times, you know, we had a really good club, and we thought we were going to do really well coming out of spring training, and we got off to a little bit of a slow start, and you know, kind of snowballed a little bit. Guys were losing some confidence, and about the time that I took over, we were going to go through the easiest part of our schedule, I think, and we started winning some games. The guys got their confidence back, and we started playing the way that we thought we were going to play coming out of spring training. And it just snowballed from there on the positive side, and you know, we had a really good run.
Do you think that you're so many? First of all, you played the game, and you're so many years at every level, really, of the game. Do you think your players reacted to that? Do they, you know, kind of respect the guy who's been there, done that?
I think maybe a little bit, but I think it's just. It's how you treat people. You know, I treat people like the way I want to be treated, or the way I think I should be treated. And if you do that, I think you earn trust and earn respect, and you move on from there. I don't think it has much to do with my experience or how many years. You know, it's almost been 40 years I've been in the game, but in the pro game. I just think it has more to do with how you treat people.
Coach, Philadelphia sports fans, much like KU fans, are incredibly passionate and love the game for all it's about. What are some of the pros and cons for coaching with that fan base supporting you?
Well, you know, we went 4 years. My first 4 years there, we didn't have much success in Philadelphia. In fact, well, you know, every September it seemed like we were close and we had a shot to make the playoffs, and then we didn't play very well in September. And so there was a lot of negative, a lot of booing from our fan base, you know, because they blue collar, they let you know, and I love that. They let you know when you're playing poorly, they let you know when you're playing well. And then this year, obviously, we played well in September and got in the playoffs, and then the good side of the Philly fans really showed up, and it was electric, and it's something I've never seen before. And, I think the players now understand that, you know, there is another side to our fan base. You just got to play well, that's all. And it was really, I had a friend of mine who coached with one of the teams that we beat out in the playoffs. And I was talking to him after the World Series, talking about the series. He said, I tell you, he said it was 4 hours of hell for our players going into Philadelphia with that fan base and the way they were, you know, the electricity there. It was hard for them to think clearly and concentrate. And just tells you a lot about the fans.
Rob, through the years, have you checked the record books here to see if anybody would break your record?
I haven't.
You haven't?
I haven't. I hope somebody does. I really do. That means that it's probably Kansas baseball is doing pretty good if you got somebody that's going to hit 500 or 450 or whatever it was. But you know, records are meant to be broken.
How'd you do it?
How did I do it? A lot of luck. I'm telling you, a lot of luck.
After the year that you had in Philly, just what's it kind of like to get to come back to a place like KU and just come back to your roots and try to? It's
unbelievable. I was so happy that Dan asked me back, and you know, he was going to have the banquet first time ever, and I was just so honored and proud to be able to come back and be able to see the new facilities. You know, I was back, I guess, before COVID, so the stadium was there, the baseball stadium, because we never had a stadium when I played here. But you know, now they've got cages for the home team, or cages for us, cages for the visitors. Walk through the locker room, it's immaculate, it's beautiful. The coach's room, trainer room. I'm just so happy for the players that are here now that they can experience that, because it's like a professional atmosphere out there.
You mentioned the reaction in Philly when you guys started winning. What do you see as the opportunity here if they get back into the conference titles and so on?
I think it's huge. I think the first step was hiring Coach Fitz, because like I said, I spent a lot of time with him, and I think he's going to do a fantastic job. And obviously the facilities are here, and the money's here, and I just think that Kansas baseball is just going to climb and rise to places that we haven't been before.
How important is the banquet that you just mentioned to stump something like that, building it where it should go? Or
I think it's huge. You know, you got to raise money. That's one thing, but the amount of people that were there last night was just incredible. I think there were, I don't know, 300 people, something like that. But seeing the '93 team here, and Dave Bingham, when I was playing here, Dave Bingham was the coach at Emporia State, and I don't know, I think I've always, in a way, thought I was going to coach at some point. Didn't realize at the time, but Dave was a guy that I always watched when I was playing against him, and thought, geez, this guy does a really good job. You know, he's really organized, he runs a good game, has a feel for strategy, and seeing the '93 team here last night, it was just incredible. It really was. And I had, I don't know, 6 or 7 ex-teammates here last night too. So it was just a great outing, and I'd do it every year, even if I'm not speaking or whatever. I'd come back every year if I'm available.
Have you met with Coach Self yet?
Yeah, we met at the basketball practice yesterday, and what a guy, you know. He went from on the court yelling at players to walking over and chit-chatting with me, and then back on the court yelling at players and back to me chit-chatting. He's quite a guy.
How much does your success and the success that KU's had with alumni and the majors, or creating sort of a sense of legacy for maybe young guys to pick up on, or pride in the program?
I hope so. You know, I hope so. I hope that there's some kids over there in that locker room that will go on to professional baseball and be big leaguers and Hall of Famers and coaches and managers and if it's not in baseball, they get the degree and they're good people in the community and have a great living. So yeah, I think the future's bright.